In 1992, Hollywood bid farewell to a towering figure, both literally and figuratively, when Chuck Connors passed away. Best known to television audiences as Lucas McCain from the classic series The Rifleman, Connors was far more than just a Western hero. Behind the screen persona was a man whose life journey traversed the baseball diamond, basketball courts, Hollywood sound stages, Cold War diplomacy, and deeply personal highs and lows. He was a figure who defied easy categorization, a professional athlete turned actor, a patriot who became an unlikely icon in Soviet Russia, and a man whose personal life was filled with both public admiration and private turbulence. Now, more than 30 years after his death, his full story continues to captivate new generations and reveal layers that few ever knew. Chuck Connors was born Kevin Joseph Aloysius Connors on April 10, 1921, in Brooklyn, New York. The son of Irish immigrants, Alan and Marcella Connors, he was raised in a working-class neighborhood during the depths of the Great Depression. Life was not easy for the Connors family. Chuck's father worked as a longshoreman on the New York docks, while his mother picked up odd jobs to help put food on the table. The economic hardship of his childhood instilled in Chuck a resilience and a tireless work ethic that would follow him throughout his life. From an early age, Chuck showed a natural aptitude for sports. He spent countless hours at the Bay Ridge Boys Club, where he honed his athletic skills and discovered his love for baseball. Like many Brooklyn kids of that era, he dreamed of one day playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. That dream took its first major step forward when, at the age of 14, his athletic talents caught the attention of scouts. He was offered an athletic scholarship to Adelphi Academy, a private school in Brooklyn known for nurturing both academics and athletics. At Adelphi, Chuck excelled in nearly every sport he touched: baseball, basketball, football, and track and field. He quickly developed a reputation as a dominant first baseman and earned accolades across the city. By 1939, he was named one of Brooklyn's top high school baseball players. Upon graduation, his abilities drew the attention of more than 25 colleges offering athletic scholarships. He chose to attend Seton Hall University in New Jersey, where he played both basketball and baseball. On the basketball court, he was a reliable backup center, known more for his defense and rebounding than for flashy scoring. However, it was on the baseball field that he truly stood out. In one memorable game in 1942, he belted 2 home runs and drove in 6 runs, turning heads among professional scouts. It was also around this time that he picked up the nickname Chuck, a moniker that stuck after he repeatedly yelled "Chuck it to me" while playing first base. But Chuck's college career was interrupted by the global turmoil of World War II. In 1942, he enlisted in the U.S. Army and trained at Fort Knox, Kentucky. His physical strength and athletic coordination made him an ideal candidate for tank warfare instruction. He later served as a trainer at the prestigious West Point Academy, where he taught tactics and even helped coach future national champion athletes. Though he wore a military uniform, he never stepped away from sports. During his free time, he continued to play semi-professional baseball in Brooklyn and even found time for professional basketball with teams in the American Basketball League. After serving 3 years in the Army, Chuck was honorably discharged in 1946. Wasting no time, he joined the Boston Celtics during their inaugural season as part of the newly formed Basketball Association of America, what would later become the NBA. Standing 6 feet 5 inches tall, he played as a forward and center, appearing in 49 games and averaging 4.5 points per game. His finest moment on the court came on December 13, 1946, when he scored 15 points in a thrilling win over the Providence Steamrollers. Yet, despite his promise in basketball, Chuck's heart was still on the baseball field. In February 1947, he left the Celtics to pursue a full-time career in baseball. His dream came true on May 1, 1949, when he made his major league debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers. However, his big league career began on a sour note. In his lone game for the Dodgers, he hit into a double play, and the team lost. Undeterred, he redoubled his efforts in the minor leagues, eventually finding success with the Montreal Royals. In 1951, he returned to the majors with the Chicago Cubs. That season, he appeared in 66 games, collected 48 hits, and posted a respectable .239 batting average. On July 18, 1951, He hit his first major league home run against the New York Giants, followed by another just weeks later, both against the same team. It was while playing for the Los Angeles Angels, a minor league team, in 1952 that fate intervened in an unexpected way. One sunny afternoon, during a game against the Sacramento Solons, Chuck launched a towering home run that cleared the stadium fence. Among the spectators that day was Billy Grady, a casting director from MGM Studios. Struck by Connor's towering physique, rugged looks, and charisma, Grady walked into the locker room after the game and handed Chuck his business card. Though flattered, Chuck initially brushed it off. He was focused on baseball and didn't see himself as an actor. That changed a few weeks later when he suffered a minor injury that gave him time to reflect. Out of curiosity, he visited MGM Studios. To his surprise, they offered him a screen test. He accepted, delivered a solid performance, and within days signed his first Hollywood contract. His debut came in the film Pat and Mike, starring Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. His role was small, a police captain, but his presence made an impact. Spencer Tracy reportedly pulled him aside after the shoot and said, "You've got something. Stick with it." That encouragement lit a fire in Chuck. Between 1952 and 1958, Connors dove headfirst into acting, appearing in over 20 films. One of his most notable early roles came in Old Yeller, 1957, where he played Bernie Sanderson. The film's success helped boost his profile, as did roles in Trouble along the way alongside John Wayne and The Big Country with Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston. Though these roles varied in size, they helped him gain experience and polish his skills as a screen actor. The defining moment of his acting career came in 1958, when he was cast as Lucas McCain in the television series The Rifleman. Initially hesitant to accept the role due to a lower salary than other projects, Connors was persuaded when producers offered him a raise and 5% ownership of the show. He immersed himself in preparation, learning horseback riding and practicing rifle spinning with firearms expert Rod Redwing. His dedication paid off. When The Rifleman premiered on September 30th, 1958, it was an instant hit. Over 14 million viewers tuned in for the debut episode. As Lucas McCain, a widowed father raising his son in the Old West, Connors brought a rare blend of toughness and tenderness to the screen. His relationship with his on-screen son, Mark, played by Johnny Crawford, became one of television's most beloved father-son dynamics. At a time when family-focused westerns were rare, The Rifleman offered viewers both action and heartfelt storytelling. The show soared to become the fourth highest-rated program on television during its first season. After The Rifleman ended in 1963, Connors struggled to shake the Western image that had made him famous. Yet he continued working in television and film, proving his range. In 1977, he delivered what many critics consider his most powerful performance, playing the cruel plantation owner Tom Moore in the groundbreaking miniseries Roots. His portrayal was chilling and complex, avoiding caricature and capturing the brutal reality of slavery. The final episode of Roots drew nearly 100 million viewers, and Connors earned an Emmy nomination for his role. As the 1970s and 80s progressed, Connors took on a mix of roles in B-movies and television guest spots. He starred in the cult horror film Tourist Trap, 1979, as the sinister museum owner Mr. Slaw and battled aliens in the low-budget sci-fi thriller The Day Time Ended, 1980. He appeared in hit series like Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, and Murder, She Wrote. In Werewolf, 1987 to 1988, he played Janos Skorzeny, a dark and brooding villain, showcasing yet another facet of his acting ability. Connors' personal life, like his career, was marked by highs and lows. He married 3 times. His first marriage was to Elizabeth Jane Betty Rell, a model from Montreal whom he met while playing for the Montreal Royals. They married in 1948 and had 4 sons: Michael, Jeffrey, Stephen, and Kevin. However, the demands of his acting career, extended filming schedules, and rumors of infidelity strained the relationship. In 1961, Betty discovered he was having an affair with a fellow actress. She filed for divorce the following year, and while they maintained civility in public, reports later revealed intense behind-the-scenes conflict, including threats to expose Connors' extramarital affairs. Chuck Connors was also an outspoken conservative, publicly supporting the Vietnam War and backing Republican politicians, a stance that often put him at odds with Hollywood's liberal mainstream. Yet in an ironic twist, he became a cultural icon in the Soviet Union when The Rifleman aired there, attracting a massive fan base, including Soviet leader Leonid Brezhnev. In a rare diplomatic moment, Connors was invited to Moscow in the 1970s, where he filmed a documentary promoting cultural understanding between the U.S. and USSR. His blend of rugged American charm and quiet dignity made him a surprising ambassador for peace. Chuck Connors' life was one of remarkable breadth. From his early days as a poor kid in Brooklyn with big dreams, to making history in both professional sports and network television, to standing as a symbol of American strength on the world stage. He lived as if every chapter were a new adventure. He passed away on November 10, 1992, at the age of 71, leaving behind a complicated but inspiring legacy. He was an athlete, an actor, a father, a patriot, and a man whose story, like the characters he played, was defined by perseverance, grit, and depth. His contributions to sports, entertainment, and international culture endure, reminding us that sometimes the man behind the rifle has even more stories to tell than the one in front of the camera.